What would you say to the survivors who feel
you are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
I'm asking you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein.
You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
A few months ago, you had in your office here Peter Mandelson, the British ambassador. You were shaking hands with him over a trade deal. He's today been forced to resign from the House of Lords, the upper house of the British Parliament, over his links to Jeffrey Epstein. Just wondered if you had any reaction to that, since obviously he was...
I didn't know about it, but I really don't know too much about it. I know who he is. It's too bad. It's too bad. You know, speaking of Epstein, I will say this. A reporter named Wolf and Epstein conspired. This just came out yesterday in the millions of pages of documents, how crazy this is. Conspired against me in order to fight like hell to make sure I lose the election. That's the only thing that was mentioned about me. Now, about Democrats, some really bad stuff, but about me, that Wolf, whoever Wolf is, he wrote a couple of books, and Epstein conspired against me. Did you know that, Mr. Senator?
I did know that.
They conspired against me, so I lose the election, or worse. So that takes care of Epstein as far as Trump is concerned. But you got a lot of Democrats out there that are very much involved with Epstein. But I'll be honest with you, you got to get back to running the country too. Millions and millions every week. You know, when Epstein was alive, nobody cared about him. When he's dead, they care about him. But it's really a Democrat problem. It's not a Republican, it's a Democrat problem. The only problem Republicans have is that we have to get back to, number one, running our country, and then number two, very importantly, letting the public know what a great job we're doing. We have the greatest economy in the history of the world. We have $18 trillion being spent. The record was $3 trillion many years ago, not by us, by another country. I won't say the country. Yeah, please.
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things I'm doing. You know, a lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned two names. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
The fact that they thought they released too much. You know, I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really, you know, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
What would you say to people who feel like they haven't gotten justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to the survivors who feel like they haven't gotten
justice? You are the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile on your face.
I'm asking you about survivors of Jeffrey Epstein.
You know why you're not smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. And you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Mr. President, today we heard that the Clintons set deposition dates to testify before the House Oversight Committee. Any reaction to that related to the Epstein question?
I think it's a shame, to be honest. I always liked him. Her, yeah. She's a very capable woman. She was better in debating than some of the other people, I will tell you that. She was smart woman. I hate to see it in many ways. I hate to see it. But, you know, then I look at me. They went after me like, you know, they wanted me to go to jail for the rest of my life. Then it turned out I was innocent, very innocent.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. Today was a big day for accountability. I'm very proud of the work the Oversight Committee has done thus far on the Epstein investigation. I'm very happy that we had a bipartisan vote today to hold the Clintons in contempt of Congress.
Former U.S. President Bill Clinton and ex-Secretary of State Hillary Clinton have agreed to testify in a House investigation into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The decision came as Republican leaders were set to advance the contempt resolution through the House Rules Committee. Earlier, the Republican chair rejected Bill Clinton's offer to conduct a transcribed interview for the House probe. Republican James Comer, the chair of the House Oversight Committee, insisted that both the Clintons sit for sworn depositions before the panel to fulfill the subpoenas. In an X post, Comer wrote, "The Clintons are in contempt of Congress. Their attorney's latest letter made clear they still expect special treatment because of their last name. The Clintons do not get to dictate the terms of lawful subpoenas. I have rejected their latest offer." According to an Associated Press report, the Clintons had resisted the subpoenas for months after the oversight panel issued subpoenas for their testimony in August as it opened an investigation into Epstein and his associates. This, after Comer threatened to bring contempt of Congress proceedings, the Clintons negotiated towards a compromise. Last month, the oversight panel advanced criminal contempt of Congress charges.
All right, well, thank you for being here. Today was a big day for accountability. I'm very proud of the work the Oversight Committee has done thus far on the Epstein investigation. I'm very happy that we had a bipartisan vote today to hold the Clintons in contempt of Congress. Understanding the Attorney General is going to turn over all the documents once they're redacted. That we have seen the Attorney General comply with our subpoena. They have turned over documents, as I said numerous times today, and I've said numerous times on most of the networks that are here today. We would like for the pace to pick up. We want to get the documents. We're not going to let her off the hook, but from a legal standpoint, she is complying with the law.
Bill Clinton had a close relationship with Epstein, who died by suicide in 2019. The former president has not been accused of any wrongdoing in the interactions with the deceased financier. The Clintons have slammed Comer's decision, alleging the House chair was bringing politics into the investigation while failing to hold the Trump administration accountable for delays in producing the Department of Justice's case files on Epstein.
House Republicans are moving to escalate their investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, this time by targeting a former president. The Republican-led House Oversight Committee says it will seek to hold former U.S. President Bill Clinton in contempt of Congress after he failed to appear for a scheduled deposition tied to the panel's Epstein probe. Oversight Chair James Comer said Clinton ignored what he called a lawful subpoena, despite months of back and forth with the former president's legal team. Comer accused Clinton's lawyers of repeatedly delaying and ultimately refusing to commit to testimony. The committee had subpoenaed both Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, scheduling their depositions for this week. House Speaker Mike Johnson warned ahead of time that skipping the appearances could amount to contempt of Congress. In a sharply worded letter to Comer, the Clintons said they would not attend, arguing the subpoenas were legally invalid. They said they were prepared to fight the matter in court and accused Republicans of pushing a rarely used process that could halt Congress and lead to imprisonment. Despite the standoff, Comer stressed that the investigation does not accuse Bill Clinton of any wrongdoing. He said the subpoenas were issued unanimously, with Democrats joining Republicans, because lawmakers have unanswered questions about Clinton's past association with Epstein. Photos released by the committee show Bill Clinton alongside Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell during the early 2000s. Clinton has acknowledged flying on Epstein's plane for foundation-related trips before Epstein faced criminal charges, but he has denied any knowledge of Epstein's crimes and says he cut ties years before Epstein's 2006 arrest. The Justice Department continues to review millions of pages of Epstein-related records for possible release, as political tensions mount over accountability, transparency, and how far Congress is willing to go in its pursuit of answers. With a contempt vote now looming, the clash between House Republicans and the Clintons is set to intensify, adding fresh controversy to an investigation that continues to reverberate across Washington.